Hey everybody, Kevin Clayson here. I've been fortunate for the last few months to be able to interact with somebody who is just a dear friend of mine. She didn't start that way. She just started as somebody who I met. Somebody told me that she was kind of a neat lady and she could do some pretty cool stuff. Her name's Heather Matter, and I truly consider her a sister. She's been a powerful mentor in my life. You know, one of the things that I've learned over the last, year and a half is that I'm never supposed to close the door on opportunity. Because the reality is, there's always things that come into our experience, and we get to choose whether or not we want to interact with those. And when Heather came into my experience and I discovered what she did and who she was, at first it was a little, I'd never experienced anything like that. I'd never coached with somebody in that way. I'd never had somebody sit down and feel like they were looking into my soul and being able to gauge what I was going through, what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. I had no idea what that would be like. But as soon as I started working with Heather, I immediately felt this amazing sense of comfort and this amazing sense of peace and joy. And I realized I was in the right place, doing the right things, those things that I needed for me, from my experience. You know, as I've listened to Heather's CDs, as I've coached with her one-on-one, as I've interacted with her on a social basis, Heather is the real deal. I mean, she is that woman that you hear on those CDs. She is the person that shows up in those videos on her YouTube channel or on Facebook. This isn't a show. This isn't an act. Heather is deeply connected to a source of infinite wisdom, and she's been given some sort of an ability. She's been blessed with a way to connect with people, and not even just connect with people, but allow them to connect with themselves. Somehow she brings that out. I really can't tell you what it's like other than to say it is transformational and it is amazing. You know, when I coach with Heather, a lot of the times it'll be on the phone, and I find myself with my eyes closed the entire time. I'm so focused inward and just what I'm experiencing, and it's sort of hard for me to do that in everyday life, to just shut down and really focus inward and do the whole meditation thing. I have to work hard at figuring out how to meditate. It's hard for me, but for some reason when I'm coaching with Heather, she somehow has the ability to bring this calming influence into my life that allows me to become very introspective and really be able to experience what's happening inside. She has helped me discover some things. And by the way, let me just mention that. Heather hasn't been the teacher. Heather's been the facilitator. The teacher for me has come from another source, a divine source, an infinite source, and certain things that Heather has helped to facilitate for me have been confirmed from a source that comes from within and that I believe runs through every piece of me and is the reason why I'm here. And that confirmation is what allows me to know that those things that she helps me experience are real and they're true for me. But as she's helped me to facilitate certain things in my life, and I've been introspective, and I've been able to experience that peace and experience that joy, my life has transformed. I am a different man. You can ask my wife, she'll tell you. You can ask my coworkers, they'll tell you. I'm different in a really, really, really good way. And you know what? Heather helped me supercharge that. She turbocharged that growth for me. She put me in a place and shared her talents and abilities with me that allowed me to experience something more than I would have experienced on my own. I mean, literally, I would not be where I am today had I not had the experiences I've had with Heather. Who am I? I'm an executive of a fast-growing company. My income over the last few years has literally, quadrupled, quintupled. I mean, it's a drastic shift. Heather's really helped me download different things about the way I think about money, the way I interact with money, but even more importantly, she's helped me figure out the way I interact with me, and not just the way I interact with me and my spirit self, but the way I interact with my family, the way I interact with my ancestors, gosh, I've become so clear that I am just part of a line, right? Both sides of me, my posterity to come, those that came before me, and that I'm connected to them. She helped facilitate this for me, that I could experience that and feel that, and I can't even begin to tell you everything that I've learned through that, but it's been powerful. You know, I even introduced my sister to Heather. My sister, who'd been shackled for a long time by financial fear, and she was always in crisis mode. And I introduced my sister to Heather, and holy cow, the kind of transformation that happened in me happened in my sister almost instantly. I see my sister show up in power now for the first time in 40 years. And a lot of that is due to the fact that Heather was a facilitator and a mentor and a coach to my sister the way she's been for me. So, for any of those of you out there that are even considering working with the amazing, the phenomenal, the wonderful Heather Matter, do it. Because you know what? Love yourself enough to feel like you're worth it. Because that's the key. So many of us don't feel like we're worth it, and we wouldn't even want to experience that. We might be fearful because we don't know what kind of transformation or change we're going to experience. But you know what? A lot of that, in my experience of me, that was my own fear of who I could become and my own doubt in who I was. But you know what? I got over it. And I said, let me just experience this opportunity that I've been presented. And I did that with Heather. And transformation occurred. I loved myself enough to give myself that opportunity. Please love yourself enough to give yourself that opportunity. Everybody should have the experience, should be able to have an experience like those that I've had with Heather, my coach, my mentor, my friend, my sister. Thank you.